get paid for training appearances or something.
You could be retired in about a year. And like, okay, a year and a half. And guy just kicks the rock.
Excuse me, gents. Thank you. Okay.
6 months time tops. A little bit of a fine, and then you're made.
Hello, America and curling fans from Canada and Newfoundland. This is your host, Ryan, bringing you the latest coverage from the 2024 MoPac Men's and Women's Club Playdowns presented by DoubleTakeout.com. We're also selling bumper stickers touting the events, which say in full the 2024 MoPac Men's and Women's Club Playdowns presented by DoubleTakeout.com. By today, just enter the keyword to save for extra savings. That keyword again is 2024 MoPac Men's and Women's Club Playdowns presented by DoubleTakeout.com. And of course, I'm joking. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully, you stayed tuned in after my little jokey introduction. We have a great matchup with the last of the men's pool play. It does appear that Peterson with the yellow rocks has a hammer. So just to introduce the teams, we have Team Berndt from Orange County throwing the lead rocks here. And that is going to be Will. That's not Will throwing lead rocks. I'll double check the throwing order in just a moment. Will's walking next to the stone, so if he threw the rock, then he jumped up to sweep it, which is possible. So thank you so much for tuning in. This is the final game of men's pool play. We will know the playoff situation, or at least a little bit more about the playoff situation after this draw. There may be some tie breaks needed, and if tie breaks are needed, one of them will be held tonight at 8 o'clock, and two and three of them maybe tomorrow morning first thing. So this is a great battle between an Orange County club and a newer Coyotes club, and it should be fun to watch.
I think so, yeah. So we don't know yet? I know, I want to see like...
So they're playing with 4. And seeing how they're doing. I say that because I know they were talking about personnel leading up into this draw, so it's interesting to see how they're playing. This one's going to slip into the house. Right on the lid.
I thought about it for like 5 seconds, like, I'm not even... And then, like, vaporized. Like, just gone. Like, he was never there.
And this net stone is coming from Peterson's lead, which would appear to be Darren Campbell. And all these players have 2 years of experience, so they are very up and coming. Although the uniforms are dapper. Although you don't necessarily need to have a dapper, well, you don't necessarily need to have experience to have a dapper uniform. Although I wish I had a dapper uniform. Dang it, a dapper uniform, dang it. It's not great alliteration. I'll work on it, guys. I'll workshop it. So that one slipped through the rings. And now we see Will Chen get into the hat. And now you can see Will in the hat as he pushes out. He's been curling for 11 years. And just really quickly, just to note, there's a decent-sized crowd in the warm room for this late afternoon draw. I was thinking about how great it's been to have a strong contingent from the Southern California clubs, and to see these teams come out to support their fellow teammates, as it were, their fellow club mates as they compete. It was especially apparent last night. So when you had the contingents stacked like 2 or 3 rows deep to watch their club take on an opposing team. I think this is Josh Bernstein taking on the next shot, looking to be a draw, I believe. I think maybe drawing to the red that is sitting on the right of the 4-foot ring. Will make contact, I believe. Oh, no, it does not make contact. I took a guess, and actually misses a little tight, a little narrow. So now Will Chen's being asked to draw again, with a little lighter to put it right on top or right above the red that's in the house already. Sweepers are jumping on it. And looks like I think this might be around the guard. Let's see. It is around the guard. As it tucks behind Will, tucks in front of Will. Okay, awesome. And it freezes it right on top. So it's going to be tricky for Campbell to get rid of it. Oh, Campbell's holding the broom. I'm going to double check the throwing order at my earliest possibility. Or opportunity, as one might say. So we're just going to watch with a sense of mystery as these teams throw their rocks down the ice. Because that's what curling is all about, a sense of mystery. Oh, good. That shot onto the pair of reds does dislodge one of the reds. And so now there's still shots. Berndt is, and so they're looking to kind of close the door and put a red in the guard area. I don't think they want it to overcurl because there's still a way for yellow to hit the red and kick that red out of the house. Sweepers think there's enough on it. Will's jumping on it to, I think, hold the line.
That's a word.
Excited might not be the right one.
Oh, it's overcurling.
It's an adjective.
So there's an issue that we've seen with the sheets where from this view it tends to curl a little bit more towards the right. Then when you see it coming home, it's going to curl more towards the left. So that would be, I don't know exactly why. It's in the middle of the ice, so there's no wall to contend with. It's just, it seems like it's falling towards the center of the entire ice sheets. And that's going to go through the house. So they try to throw a weight to try and run the yellow onto the red to pick the red out, and it did not happen. They should have used as a Visine to get the red out. They didn't use Visine, so there's no red out. So now I think they're going to try to draw again for Team Berndt. Berndt does not want the sweepers on it, or he's just waving hello to the sweepers. This is going to go a little deep. The line was better. Ooh. This could have given Team Peterson the opportunity here because it did hit the yellow under the red. And it looks like red is still shot. It looks like Berndt is still shot as we're seeing the last from the third for Team Berndt. And this looks better. I think they're just trying more gentle weight. I think to raise the yellow towards the button. Does make contact with one of the reds and pushes it to the back 8. And the mission accomplished for Team Peterson. They are now shot. They're now shot with the hammer here in the first. And so now we're seeing Skip Stones and we're seeing Skip for Team Berndt. That is Austin Berndt, who's been curling for 9 years. Austin's been curling for now 9 years. He's now a proud member of the 8-Ender Club. So congratulations to him for that accomplishment. And the shot that they're trying to do here, I think they're trying to just draw behind the yellow. And this is going to be a little heavy. It's going to go deep to the back 8, the back 12, and she gone. So we have 3 men's games national plus 1 women's game. We'll let you know which of those games are when we kind of recap around the rings at the start of the second end. And here, I think Peterson's looking to see what to do. And I say Peterson, but Campbell's calling the game and throwing last rocks, and Bernstein's holding the broom. So we will introduce the lineup as soon as we know. Or just turn on CSN and check out the Meet the Teams segment.
Unless he knows himself, he's like, yeah, I'm usually 6 inches wide. I'm going to throw it up. 6 inches
I'm usually a foot.
So Campbell is pushing out of the hatch. I think just looking to draw. They want to get behind the yellow. I was wondering if they would want to maybe draw to the left side of the sheet, left side of the button. Just an easier target for Berndt, maybe? I don't know. But also would maybe give Berndt an opportunity to hit and roll under cover. This was a good outcome. Looks like they executed the way they wanted. Runs the yellow into the red, pushes the red further out of the center area, and now Peterson's sitting 2. They're sitting 2 open though, and so it's possible that if Berndt were to throw weight at this, they could maybe get both of those yellows to go away. However, there's a strong possibility of one of the yellows jamming on the red. So they're talking it over. The decision's made. Austin makes his way down the sheet. And I think they are going to go for that double based on where the broom is. Going to need, I think, some significant weight to get both of those rocks moving out of the house, out of play. And again, there is a strong risk of a jam as Austin kicks out of the hatch here with his last without hammer.
Yeah, I get that for sure. And
Looks pretty close. Sweepers, I think, are trying to hold the line and might be over curling a little bit. It does get 1, but then it rolls over the top of the other yellow. And so now it is Peterson still sitting the 1, and Campbell has a chance to draw for 2.
here's the 10% of the time it's right. Don't give me the line. I still don't.
Is it still running?
So still a good shot for Team Berndt because they got rid of one of the 2 stones that Peterson was out. And so instead of 3, now Campbell is drawing for 2.
A lot of that.
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
So sweepers are just escorting it, just like the Secret Service and the president in the Whitney Houston movie, The Bodyguard, I guess. I don't know what happened in that movie. It's a little heavy. It's trying to slip past the 4 foot into the back of the house, and it's just a single point with a hammer. Team Peterson's on the board, though, taking a 1-0 lead over Team Berndt. And we'll be right back in just a moment. Coverage of the 2024 MoPac Men's and Women's Club Playdowns is presented by DoubleTakeout.com. DoubleTakeout.com is a stat lover's paradise. Each week during the competitive season, the proprietor Pomeroy looks at the results from the major curling competitions and crunches the numbers to come up with what he calls the world's greatest curling ranking system. And it is a very comprehensive system where visitors can see the stats of how their team is doing, compare them, and see how they might fare in future matchups. That's all on doubletakeout.com. There's some weird sound effects happening in this warm room. We will be back in just a moment. I do want to double check the lineups, and I'll be right back in just a mo, as the kids say.
What I've seen. Yeah, hit this over curl, hit guard, in here.
All right, we are back, and as Rock continue to be in play on our feature sheet, just want to introduce the other games happening during this draw. And all these scores are being posted to bondspieler.com. Bondspieler.com is our live score post, and you can check out the results of any draw during this event. And there are many plays for most of the event. On sheet A, from the San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club, we have Team Meyer taking on Team Pomeroy from the Oval Curling Club of Utah. It looks like Meyer got a single in the first. Sheet B is a battle between Team Betts of Wine Country taking on Team Aller from San Francisco. There are in the second end, but no scores posted yet. Sheet C is our feature sheet. Team Berndt taking on Team Peterson. Peter is up 1-0. And then on sheet D is our single female or women's draw of the contest. We have Team Walsh from San Francisco taking on Team Hashi from Hollywood. And they are starting the second end. And I can't quite see a score, but you can see the scores at bondspieler.com. So now we see Will Chen kicking from the hack, delivering his stone. It's a pretty open house, it appears. So it looks like Berndt might be trying to build towards a blank. And Chen draws to the left 8 foot. And for Team Peterson. Peterson's throwing lead routes, by the way. This looks to be the last of the second stones. That would be from Jared Kiesling. And this looks to be a little narrow or tight. It's going to miss. And so now it's game on for Team Berndt to get 2 or more points, and he's going to split the rings. Wasting no time to set up that situation.
What do you think of it?
And this would be the third playing for Team Berndt. And that would be Ryan Janowiak. And this is going to go maybe a little deeper than they had wanted. And it's going to go out of play. So Berndt had an opportunity, and just like that, the opportunity is missed. And so now that switches back to Team Peterson. Team Peterson's chance to take out the stone. And this, again, is going to be a little tight and miss. One thing that some of the teams have noted, I haven't documented it, so it's hard to say, although all these games are on YouTube, they're archived, so they're documented in this sense. But no, it sounds like there's certain lines that are tricky for some of the teams on the ice. And it could just be that Peterson's found one of the tricky lines. So again, the pendulum swung back in favor of Berndt, and they were able to capitalize this time with a much better draw to the right side. It's a bit high. It's not shot stone, but it's above the tee line, so Peterson's going to make a play on it. I'm going to maybe start switching to the person calling the game at some point because St. Peterson is not entirely what's happening. So Campbell might hit and roll off of the second stone there. The broom's right next to it. Oh, and we're already to skip stones, just like that. Campbell gets set into the hack. Campbell's been playing for 2 years, and in the past year, he was a champion at the Kansas City 5 and Under. And this looks close. Makes contact, gets the red out, and the yellow shifts towards the center. So he had his Visine because he got the red out. And now let's see what Austin Berndt does. Looks like I imagine he might try to hit on the nose or just slightly to the right of it. There's a risk of jamming, and they're trying to coach it over. I think it's going to make contact. It does make contact, and it rolls just to the right. So that was, I think, how they drew up the shot, and mission accomplished.
They could go away for sure. We hope for the best, but at least you make it a team.
So this is a really strong opportunity now for Berndt to score multiple points in this end.
Yes.
Some other accomplishments for Darren Campbell include being a runner-up at the Desert Ice Bonspiel, event runner-up at the Hotter Than Hell Bonspiel, and B event champion at the Coyotes under 5 and under qualifier. And those last 3 events were at Coyotes, because Coyotes is a really great place for having curling tournaments, as I hope you can tell. Hits and rolls. Is it going to get over to the red? And not quite. It's not totally covered, but it's going to be tricky for Austin to get that Yellowstone out. It is shot, so Austin can get rid of that yellow and store possibly 2, or they can just ignore it. I don't think they're going to ignore it. So it looks like they want to hit it on the outside, push the yellow back towards the center out of play, and that's the safe shot. They don't want that yellow to jam on the red. So here you go, a chance for 2, just a nice nose hit for 2, or just outside. This looks like it could be close. Oh, and it hits on their own. Well, it hit the yellow. It hit the yellow. So the yellow did jam, unfortunately. Gets rid of both the red rocks, and it ends up with Team Peterson scoring a second point. Berndt carries the hammer into the third end. When we come back to our live coverage from the 2024 MoPac Men's and Women's Club Playdowns, live from Coyotes Curling Club. All right, we're about to start the third end here with the first stone coming from Andy McKillips. Normally throwing Vice or third rots, he's throwing lead today. He's a 2-time GNCC Club Playdown champion. Looks like he's going to throw and hit the yellow out of the house, so we now have an empty sheet again. So someone was asking about the tiebreaker procedure, and I don't have that information handy. I was asking for the competition document to kind of see what the rules are, because it usually spells it out. But I didn't get that in this case. I got everything else but that. But we have 4 teams of 4, and I imagine the easiest playoff situation would be to do 8-team playoff. And that does make sense, because we have 4 quarterfinal games currently set for 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. And so that means in order to make the playoffs, you have to be in the top 2 spots in your 4-person pool. And there's going to be some situations where there's going to be ties, and if there's there's some tiebreakers where I think they are going to use draw shot challenge measurements to settle some of the more extraneous ties. But if the ties are in a situation where they can resolve it with a tiebreaker game, they're going to do that. And we'll hopefully know more as we near the end of our broadcast, or at the very least, we'll know more tonight when the bracket is set, and we can explain what happens, especially if you're watching one of the tiebreaker games. So that last yellow went through the house. I see what's going on. So I do think that Andy McKellips is throwing the lead rocks, and then he's calling the rest of the game. And I think that might be related to the player situation that I was hearing a little bit about before the game. So we're seeing Will Chen deliver his first rock, I believe. He's been curling for 11 years. Curling out of the Granite in Seattle for 7 years, and then since 2020 out of Hollywood Curling in Southern California.
I think I take you fuel ones here. And then actually they need this number. A little bit.
So now we're seeing the second four. Team Peterson is going to be Jared again. And I think looking to make contact with the red that's in the top of the house. And another miss. So they're trying to throw weights to take out these stones, and they're not making contact. And it appears that it's been trickier going away than coming home. And so now Berndt is sitting 2, and they're trying to get a third rock in the house. I mean, it should be pretty easy too. The house is wide open. And that's a really solid release there from Will. But this is maybe going to be a little heavy. Sitting down now, it's going to sit into the back of the house. But the top red there is still shot, so I think Campbell's going to make a play on it. And he does. As he has the broom down for the third, which is, I believe that's third rocks. Yes, it is. It's Josh Bernstein. He also has 2 years of experience. His accomplishments are very similar to Jared's in that he was a Kansas City 500 champion. Does make contact with that red at the top, and the shooter rolls out of play. So it's still a wide open house for Team Berndt. So if they're able to convert and get 2 or more points here, they are really back into the thick of this game. And we're now seeing the third for Berndt. This is Josh Janawiak. Normally throwing second. He's been moved into the third position. And he is also a member of the 8-ender club. I think MoPac has seen just a couple of 8-enders in its history, and Berndt holds one of them. So that draw goes to the back of the house. There's a double possibility if they wanted to take it on. I think they're just looking to get at least one of the Berndt counters out of the house. Looks pretty good. The double could be there. Gets one. Oh, it gets them both. That double takeout was brought to you by doubletakeout.com. It's in the name. Just watch as it goes down the ice. The double could be there. Gets one. Oh, it gets them both. That double takeout was brought to you by doubletakeout.com. So back to the live action. The yellow that was in the house is now gone as Peterson's Berndt's red rock rolls towards the wing. And so it does put that red rock into a dangerous position near the other red rock, and so Campbell can make a play on one of the reds and get both possibly. Kind of what happened in their last shots.
It's almost like getting that Yellowstone brand, like once you get a Golden State Steel.
So Campbell, I'm pretty sure has been curling for 2 years. Oh, I did mention that, yes. And so I think this team did all the events together because they have the same accomplishments. Kansas City 5 and under, MoPac 5 and under runner-up, the Hotter Than Hell, etc. So looking to make contact with one of the reds and maybe get both. Gets one but not the other. And then the shooter's going to roll to the right. And so now Berndt can make a play on that yellow and split the rings. And then we'll see what Campbell decides to do with his last. And Berndt's shot is underway, looking to save a little bit of time. You can see there's clocks in the background there. The clocks are used to keep track of thinking time. Each team has 30 minutes to complete 8 ends of regulation play. So it does get rid of the yellow, but then it rolls back towards the red. And I'm sure that's not what they wanted, but we'll see what happens next. So I think they're going to try and take the double on. It's pretty close to each other. And so Campbell does have a really strong chance of getting them both. And that's kind of based on where they have the broom. As Campbell gets out of the hack. Looking to get two. Even if they get one, it's not bad. So people are saying, oh no, and oh no.
Did he try coming cross face on that?
They scored 3 points with the field goal there. And that doesn't exist in curling, so it's no points. And actually, Berndt has a chance to score 3. So just looking to draw. All they need to do is touch paint to score that third point. And to take early leads in this 8-end game. Again, just looking to touch paint. As soon as it's near the rings, they can let go. They're putting a polish on it to finish. It needs to get to the rings, and it does. Good for one. In addition to the 2 in the house. So Austin Berndt in this rink score a 3 to jump ahead 3-2 as we head into the 4th end of this potential 8-end game. We'll be right back in just a moment.
Well, you know me, girl. I'm a bit of a...
Welcome back to the 2024 MoPac Men's and Women's Club Playdowns presented by doubletakeout.com. Just a very fun game being set up here on Sheet C. And hopefully we have some fun games to come with the remainder of our tournament. We have one more game tonight at 8 o'clock. It may be the men's tiebreaker, but it could also be some women's round robin action. We'll be sure to note that when we know the schedule. Saturday we have 4 games on tap, starting at 9 a.m. So you can have breakfast with breakfast with Club Playdowns. You can also have lunch with Club Playdowns at 12:30. Early dinner at 4:30 and late dinner at 8:30. So if you want to plan your meals around watching curling, you can do that very easily. It's 9, 12:30, 4:30, and 8:30, all tomorrow on the MoPac YouTube channel. And then, of course, we have 2 women's playoff games, including the championship on Sunday. Action starts at 8:30 and concludes with the championship game at 12:30. After I have to check out of the hotel.
Yeah, that is. I couldn't do the travel.
Something happened. So I'm not seeing scores on Bonspieler. Let me ask to see if someone's doing that as we see the net shot go down the ice for Team Berndt. Be back in a mo.
I think that's where the word got out. Like, hey, Fairbanks is actually.
So Berndt is going to draw around a high center guard into the rings. And the 5-rock no-tick rule is in effect. Well, there's the 5-rock free guard rule plus the no-tick rule enhancement. And the no-tick rule is for the first 5 rocks at the end, an opponent cannot remove a center line guard that's touching the line. If it moves the guard off the center line, the offending stone is removed and the original stone is replaced or put back into its original location. So it looks like Campbell is calling to draw around all the center rocks, sit in the back. He just does tap the red and moves a little to the left, a little wide. And so now we're kind of playing a draw game involving angles.
Are you flying back like that?
And I was informed that there would be no math.
That's awesome. I was looking at flights, I was like, well, you can fly back late, but then it's like 24 flying with the layovers. Or you fly Monday like at 6 and it's an 8-hour flight.
So Will Chen's shot coming down the ice, looking to draw right on top of the yellow. This is a dangerous shot because of the possibility of it tapping the yellow onto the red and kind of pushing the red into a hittable position. Oh, and also that could happen. It kissed the yellow and pushed it towards the button, and so now Team Peterson is shot. So they did update Bonspieler. So as we see this net shot get called to update the scores, Team Meyer from San Francisco has scored 3 over 2 ends to take a 3-0 lead over Team Pomeroy from the Oval Curling Club of Utah. That's my home club, by the way. Sheet B, the contest between Betts of Wine Country and Aller of San Francisco is in favor of Betts at this time, taking a 2-1 lead over Aller. Sheet C is our feature game as we see the shot come down. Okay, so that was not a bad outcome for Team Peterson as it pushes one of the reds to the back 8, back 12 zone. And then on sheet D, the women's round robin game in action. Team Hashi opened up with a steal of 3, but then Walsh converted the hammer to score 4 and take the lead at 4-3 as they are finishing the third end right now.
Kira would die.
Again, all those scores are posted to bondspieler.com. It rhymes with mom, but it's spelled bond. Bondspieler.com.
I have mine in my bag for when I go out and do ice press, so I can
So this draw looks like it's going to maybe be a little light perhaps, but it does move the red undercover. It does create an angle to perhaps run the shooter red onto the yellow. And Campbell's looking at maybe doubling those reds out. And kind of curious about what Campbell's goal is for this end. As you played curling, as you played games, you wanted to, for each end, consider what the goal is. Peterson is down 1 in the fourth end. They have the hammer in the even ends right now. So I think ideally they would like to score multiple points and keep carrying the hammer on even ends. There's not really a blank in play here, but wondering what the double would do, but it actually wrecks on the guard. And the shooter goes out of play, and the guard also is gone. So that center guard being gone now opens up the center of the house, and so now I think the pendulum swings towards Peterson. Swings towards Berndt. And so Berndt, they could run the red back onto the yellow on the center, but they're looking to maybe approach it from the other side, the left side. The shot comes from Team Berndt.
It's over curling now.
They're saying it's over curling, but they also have a plan B.
Wow.
But it does over curl. It's not in a position to be playable right away. That was Ryan, by the way, who threw that stone. And now we see Josh with his first. And I think looking to get rid of one of the reds, maybe both. So he's going to try and take on the double. And gets one, gets two to go out of the house. And so that double takeout was brought to you by doubletakeout.com. Of the reds, maybe both. So he's going to try and take on the double. And gets one, gets two to go. So back to the live action. And looks like Team Berndt is throwing some heavy weight of his own. I think maybe looking to do a double of their own, but it's going to be one and just roll slightly to the outside. And so the end of the tenor of the end has changed to now. Both teams are kind of trading hits back and forth. And there's a couple single stones from each team on the wings as Josh throws his last. This line looks a little wide, perhaps. It does roll slightly to the outside, so that wasn't bad. And so now Team Berndt, I think, is also looking to maybe try to double the two Peterson stones out of the way. At least based on where the broom is for Skip Austin Berndt. So sweepers are just walking with it. Now Will's sweeping, I think, to hopefully move it over a little bit, so hold the line. It gets one, but the other stone is hanging out of the back. That is shot stone that was just delivered, so it looks like Campbell's going to make a play on it. Thanks again to everyone who tuned into tonight's broadcast. I hope you're enjoying it. We do have some comments in the YouTube channel, YouTube chat. It's always good to have feedback, as long as it's constructive, and it usually is. So the situation here is that Berndt is sitting shot, and Campbell's going to make a play on that rock. There is a risk of jamming, and so I think that's something that he's going to have to be careful for as he pushes out of the hat. I think they want to just hit the outside, or trying to hit it on the inside of closer to the center. This is curling a bunch, but I think it's going to be pretty close. It actually hits it on the outside. And that was a good shot. So now Team Peterson has 2 in the house. Counting 2, there's a Berndt red in the outer 12-foot that's not likely to come into play unless there's a miss. So I think they're looking to maybe draw under the yellow that was just put in. The path is, or the spacing between those 2 yellows is not great for a draw. They also have their own guard that Austin put his broom down for, and that is what they're going to go for.
This is go round 2 and you are peeking out, you can hope that with that angle, hopefully it might spill out.
Spill, jam, or the rack. Yeah, you don't have to fully bury. Yeah. Maybe you want to over bury a little. Just needs to be shot.
So looking to draw around the center guard. This is Austin Berndt's last without the hammer here in the 4th end. Lots of pressure, needs to make this shot, or Peterson's going to be able to bounce back with 2 or 3 points of their own. So it looks like it's pretty tight to the guard. Is it around? It does make it around the guard, and now it needs to sit and be buried. It sits down, but it's not very buried. So now Campbell can hit that red out, and if it sits around, if the yellow sits around, it's 3 points.
You really want to keep it high because then you just come out of the path.
So a gentle weight takeout for 3. This is Campbell's last with the hammer here in the 4th. Needs to make contact, needs to stick around. And this is going to be a little tight, and it misses. So it's actually going to be a steal of 1 by Team Berndt. So Campbell tried to make the shot and ended up getting Berndt. So Team Berndt takes a 4-2 lead. Peterson takes a hammer to the 5th end, and we're going to take a 5-minute break while the teams do, and we're going to be right back to the action when we come back to the 2024 MoPac Men's and Women's Club Playdowns. And coverage of our event is powered by DoubleTakeout.com. DoubleTakeout.com is the presenting sponsor of the event. It's also one of the great statistical sites for curling. admittedly, there's not a lot of great statistical sites for curling, but doubletakeout.com is certainly one of them. Each week, Ken Pomeroy crunches the numbers and comes up with what he calls the world's greatest curling ranking system. So check it out for yourself at doubletakeout.com. We'll be right back. So welcome into the warm room. You can see the broadcast setup that we have here, and you can also see the not quite bird's eye view that we have of the action on the ice. Taking a look at the warm room, you can see the crowd watching, with great attention. And we're going to do a quick trip around the rings to update you on some of the story that's happening on the other sheets. Looking at sheets A, this is a contest between Team Meyer of San Francisco and Team Palmer. Meyer is throwing the Red Rocks, and they have jumped to a sizable lead of 6-0, and they're looking to put another one in here in the fourth end. But looks like it might make contact on the yellow, kind of kiss the yellow over and spill the red into the house. Sheet number B. We have the game between Team Aller and another team. Yes, I didn't want to guess. Aller throwing the Red Rocks. The lead, it appears. Aller can make a takeout on one of the reds, and then the other red rolls open. So definitely setting something up here in the fourth, Team Aller. But currently it is Betts leading 3-1. Sheet C is our feature sheets. I'm just slowly walking in front of people. I apologize. So. Sheet C is our feature sheet. You can see the teams just having their 5-minute break, talking things over, So, and then we're going to go over to sheet number D, the women's contest between, the contest between Team Hashi of Hollywood and Team Walsh, and looking to see the situation here. Oh, it's this high-scoring game is tied. It appears in the fourth end, tied 4-all. So we'll definitely see what happens next. Walsh has the hammer, but Team Hashi is sitting 2 in the house with a bunch of Walsh stones around it. So we'll see what happens as the games continue. We'll keep you updated. You can see all the action and see this lovely warm room crowd. That's the spirit. That's the spirit of curling right there. So thank you so much. You can catch all the action at bonspieler.com and also our YouTube channel. So we're going to return to the action in just a moment to the 2024 Men's and Women's Club Playdowns.
I don't know if they have it set up right, but it shouldn't be too hard.
You can sit there.
Well, it's my jacket, so.
All right, returning to our feature sheets. I think the first stone went out of play. As we see the opening rock coming from lead Paige Peterson of Team Peterson. And I would imagine they would be putting up a guard of some sort. But it does slip into the house, and so that does give Berndt an opportunity to hit that yellow out of play and roll, probably. Or they're also looking at putting up a guard as Andy kind of talks it over with his skip. And now Andy gets set into the hatch and pushes out. Andy's experience includes being a club Playdown champion for Grand National Curling. Plus also attending or participating in the club nationals twice. Also was the winner of tournaments at Broomstone Men's Little International and the Cape Cod Men's Summer Spiel. So Peterson quickly gets set and pushed out of the hack. And I think they're looking to put up a corner guard to protect their yellow that's already in the house. Although this is trying to go a little deep, and so now this gives Team Berndt an opportunity to make a play on those two yellow rocks. There's a double there. All they need to do is hit it in the between the two rocks. One might call it a crotch of sorts. But that might lead to certain language descriptions that I won't engage in on this broadcast. But just looking to hit it right in the middle of those two rocks, or maybe hit on the outside of the... Oh, it gets one out, maybe. And it's mission accomplished, although it does park right by the edge of the sheet. So it does get one. That was a hard way to get rid of one rock there. And so now we're going to see the next rock coming from Jared Kiesling. And I think looking to put the guard back up, or just be more of a guard. And this weight definitely looks a lot better than the earlier shot. And it is guarding. There still is the double there. And it does look like Will Chen is going to take it on. And so here comes Will's net shot. And just trying to get one, I believe. Clears the guard. Shooter rolls wide and out of play.
Are you flying or holding better?
Keep that up and that's like your job. Your job is applying for jobs.
Next shot's away just like that. Just checking in on the YouTube comments. Definitely appreciate the feedback. It's really great to be at a curling event at a place like Coyotes. Definitely appreciate the support from the club, its volunteers. I definitely wouldn't. We wouldn't be able to pull events off like this without the support of clubs like Coyotes, and also just the generosity of its members and everyone else who comes to the club. Someone even bought me a beer. Thanks, Daryl. And the beer is very good. It was good. So now we have the takeout attempt number 3. It gets 1 again, and it jams, and the yellow in the house just scoots over a little bit.
Great way to look at it. Make sure you use that subject.
So now looking to see what Campbell wants to do. Campbell of Team Peterson. Looks like they're going to try and draw around on the outside. This is the side of the sheet that does not maybe curl as much as going the other direction. So it'll be fascinating to see what happens. This does curl up pretty nicely and is enough to be shot stone. So now Peterson sitting 2, and the takeout game continues for Team Berndt as Ryan gets set in the hack, looking for a counterclockwise turn. So this will maybe curl a bit more. Oh, and it closed their own guard. It does roll over. And it's through to that yellow that's just parked on the edge of the sheet. And so now it's Peterson sitting 2 and Berndt sitting third shot. So now it looks like Campbell might be trying to split the rings and put that yellow over to the left side of the sheet from our view. This is Josh's second rock, I believe. So mission accomplished on drawing to the other side of the rings, although it does create a possibility where Berndt could hit that just placed yellow and roll under the other ones, or they could try and again double those yellows. The double's still there. Looks like they're going to try that double again.
Go do the thing.
Yeah, it's like a while.
I think on that like 8 seconds.
So this looks like they're trying to push it over. And they get 1, and they get the second one to go to the back of the 12-foot, but it's going to hang around. So not a double takeout, but a good shot. And now it looks like Peterson's looking at those 2 reds that are on the edge of the sheet. Peterson is seeing 1 and 3, and Peterson, and Berndt is sitting 2 and 4 in terms of the scoring order.
So as I'm coming on my choking up on my roof. I don't want to hit you, but I gotta go there.
So the decision's made, the broom's down. I think they're going to try and draw to those reds on the right side of the screen from this view.
I'm more confident.
Yeah, you roll in, you're getting 2.
Yeah. Yeah, you can take care of him later.
So looking for the draw to the right, but it looks like they're going to the left as the Vice comes out to help sweep, and it just ends up putting up a corner on the right, so that's not going to do much of anything. If Berndt hits that Peterson red out of the way, Berndt would be sitting 2 stones, 2 counters. And then Peterson and Campbell are going to really have to figure out what to do with that. Looking for counterclockwise outturn release. The stone should move toward the right from this view and towards the right from this view. I think they want to hit it right on the nose or close to it. And they get 1 yellow. The shooter's going to roll wide to the right and out of the house or close to it. And so now shot stone is the red in the left side of the house.
I mean, if you roll in, get it to where you're jamming it. You're rolling it. I think you got it.
That's a good look from Paige.
So it looks like Campbell's going to take on those reds. Just based on where the broom is. I mean, they could be drawing, but I really think that the hit is there. Do have to worry about it possibly over curling, so the line is going to be crucial here because it does, I think, over curl towards the right going this direction. And Campbell's shot is away. And it is going to over curl and miss those 2 reds and roll out of play. So if oh, that's the end of the end. I can't count. And so that was a steal there by Team Berndt. Puts another one on the board. We'll update the score when they post it, and when we come back to the 2024 MoPac Men's and Women's Club Playdowns, powered by DoubleTakeout.com. Welcome back. As we're about to get started here with the 6th end, it was a steal of just 1. So Berndt is up 5-2 over Team Peterson of Coyotes. And let's take a look around the rings to see how the other games are going. Sheet A is it's been Meyer time all game long, as Meyer is now up 8-0 over Team Palmore of Oval Curling. This was a crucial game for both teams to qualify for the playoffs. And so it looks like Meyer is in the driver's seat there. Sheet B is Team Betts of Wine Country taking on Team Aller from San Francisco. And looks like they're all square at 3 after 4 ends. And Sheet C is our feature game. As mentioned, Team Berndt of Orange County is up 5-2 over Team Peterson of Coyotes. And Sheet D is our women's round robin game. Team Walsh of San Francisco is up 5-4 over Team Hashi of Hollywood. And so again, keep track of all the scoring action at our live scoring site, or our live scoring site provider. That's bondspieler.com. If you want to sound fancy, it's bondspelier.com. turning back to the action on our feature sheet, Berndt is, I think, looking to put up a guard to protect their red that's in the house currently. And that does do the trick. And this is the fourth rock to the end about to be delivered by Paige Peterson.
My stipulations were I got Potomac.
That's my rule when I'm hunting for jobs. Like I had to
Sweepers are really carrying the rock. I think trying to get around that corner guard on that side. It's going to be on the right side as we switch views. It's going to be a bit light though. And so I wonder if Team Berndt is going to try and beat Peterson to around that corner. Well, it looks like they're not going to do that. It looks like they're going to try and put up another tight guard to the house. Again, looking for a tight guard to the house. If it slips in, it's not too bad. Sweepers are just cleaning now. They're digging in to finish it. And it looks like it's pretty much where they wanted it. A tight guard to the house. But that just also kind of shifts the focus for Peterson's team to the stones that are in play in the house already. And that is where Campbell has the broom for his teammates. Jared's looking for at least to get one, maybe two. And it does tend to curl more going to the left here. And it's going to get one. And it misses the second stone, but that's not too shabby. It does hit the other red that was in the top of the house and pushes it under cover. So it's getting a little junky on the right side of the house, right side of the sheets.
You see a lot of white on the TV, but that angle's not great.
I drunk just by sitting up.
So Andy McKillips again is holding the broom for Team Berndt after the lead rocks. In this case, he's holding the broom for Will Chen second.
What happened? What happened there? He just fell down. He got up to go down. He kicked his rock. Another rock past the tee line.
So just going to pick one of the yellows out, have the shooter roll to the side. It rolls actually to cover the shot stone in the house. So Berndt is sitting one, maybe two. There's that red in the right side that looks like it might be biting the 12-foot ring. And I think they're just going to try the takeout again.
Just get rid of that first one and roll. You actually roll off the tight one. That's what I'm saying. Just roll into the house. So roll like
This one again misses the potential double, and it pushes the other red further towards the ring, the edge of the ring. And that red still might be nibbling the 12-foot there.
It's less than 2 inches out.
I agree with
So next shot coming from Team Berndt. This is Ryan.
Even your dog could have had there's the black and the white and the ice with the black and the white. A lot of people are like, I'm just going to take the white. Yeah, I was tired.
A lot.
I think looking to cover and guard the red shot stone, but it's going to be maybe a little wide, and it actually kisses on it and settles into the left edge of the 8-foot.
There's a double on rocks.
And so now Campbell's looking at hitting and rolling under cover, especially now that that red is unprotected in front of the house.
Right there? Yeah. We still have to give people shit about things.
So looking for a nice gentle hit and roll. Get rid of one of the burnt counters and roll under cover. And there's plenty of cover to roll under. Hits and rolls, but does not roll far enough. And so now Shotstone may belong to Peterson. From the overhead, it does look to be the case. And Team Berndt is just going to take that yellow out. Even if they nose, it would be fun if they hit just on the outside of that yellow and roll under the cover. That would be so much so the better. And it's going to hit and not much of a roll, or it does roll back towards the center. And so it's kind of a similar shot now for Team Peterson to make. As I think this is Josh Bernstein's last here.
I don't think I've seen him do that before. So of course I haven't watched him throwing it off.
Yeah, well, it's really coming over at the end.
So contact made, and the shooter sticks there at the top of the 8-foot ring. And again, you know, this is like a heavyweight bout. They're just trading hits back and forth. As Austin Berndt kicks his way out of the hack towards the target. It kisses it, and then it jams on the red on the wings, so not a bad outcome. The yellow Shotstone goes out of play, out of the house. And so now it is Team Berndt sitting 1, maybe 2 with that biter.
They're going for a hit and roll, which is, you know.
And so Team Campbell, or Team Peterson, stripped by Campbell, could try the hit and roll, get rid of one of the burnt counters, and roll undercover. I think that's not what they're going to do. I think they're going to draw undercover, and this could potentially be a tricky shot. This is not the path to the ice that over curls, although it will be interesting to see how Campbell's shot goes. And this is Darren Campbell skipping what's called Team Peterson. And as I understand it, some of the team names are assigned just based on who signed their teams up for this event. So looking for a draw, it needs to make sure it gets around the guards and is buried. And also making sure the weight is great. And it's really close on all 3 of those counts. It does not get buried. And also is not shot, as the warm room notes. It's just a couple inches too deep. And so now it'll be interesting to see what Berndt does. I think they need to be second shots. Or they need to be shot or second shots at the end of this last delivery from Austin Berndt. They were kind of looking up a little high in the top of the 8-foot, but you don't want to create a double possibility. And you also want to give another target for the opponents to aim towards. So a very crucial draw here coming from Austin Berndt.
Is anyone going to make that shot here?
And I think hoping to park it in the top 4 foots. This is a bit heavy, and this could be the worst outcome of the shot here. And it does go too deep, and so now the pendulum swung back in favor of Team Peterson. If Peterson knocks out that red rock in the upper left hand of the house and sticks around, Peterson can score 2 and jump back into this game. So again, both teams seeing advances and reversals from end to end. And that's, I think, part of what this game is all about. Also bagpipes. So here we go, looking for a hit or just anything to move that red out of the way to score 2. This is Darren Campbell's last for Team Peterson. And is it going to be there?
Really?
And it's not going to be there. Oh, and the warm room is shocked. I wouldn't say aghast, but pretty close to aghast adjacent. As Team Berndt steals another one. And they didn't need that much weight. I think that was part of what people were saying. They just needed to move it out of the way. And so just something to keep in mind is that when you're throwing takeout weight, you don't need a missile for every shot. Most of these shots, you only need just enough weight to move the rock out of the house or out of the way. And so that could be a hack or board weight, and that would be enough weight for a stone to travel to the hacks behind the house. So just a unfortunate couple last shots for Team Peterson, but they've been so close. It's been a great game so far, and again, we're very glad that you tuned in to watch it. As we go back to our Around the Rings coverage. Looks like Team Meyer and Team Pomeroy are about to finish the 5th end on sheet A. To this point, it's been all Meyer with an 8-0 lead. And we'll see what happened there. Sheet B, the contest between Team Betts of Wine Country and Team Aller of San Francisco. It's been kind of a back and forth battle, and Aller is holding the upper hand right now, a 4-3 lead here in the 6th end. Sheet C is our feature sheet again. Peterson scored early, but since then it's been all Berndt with 3 steals in a row of 1 point each to take a 6-2 lead. As I'm now updating the scoreboard here in the 7th end. Peterson does have the hammer. Hopefully they'll be able to convert in this end. And then on sheet D, the women's round robin game in action. Walsh stole a single point in the 5th to take a 6-4 lead over Team Hashi of Hollywood. And that updates you on the scores. All the scores are being posted to bonspieler.com as they happen. So there's a center stone, a center guard. Although it looks like this stone is a little light from Andy. And it's going to, again, be another guard. Oh, it's going to get around the guard. My apologies. And settle in the top 8, biting the top 8 ring there. So Campbell's looking to draw around their own corner guard, I think in part because they don't want to risk crashing on that center line guard from the opposing team. So this looks pretty close. Sweepers are working to hold the line and carry it.
I wonder how they determine.
Now this is the side that I thought was going to curl more towards the wings, and so if that's the case, they definitely managed that shot really well. Just a reminder that our coverage continues tonight at 8 with a contest between the men's tiebreaker or Aubrey versus Blasty in women's round robin action. That's coming up tonight at 8 on the MoPac YouTube channel. Check your local listings. So now it looks like Berndt. Okay, so Berndt wanted to make contact on the yellow that went to the house. It does so, pushes it to the outer right side of the ring, and the shooter itself rolls to the back 8. So the 5 rock rule should be over, and so now Campbell wants Jared to clear some guards, and that is what's dialed up. Let's see if Jared Kiesling can deliver. This looks pretty close for 1. Is it going to get 2? It just gets the 1. The shooter's going to roll out of play. But one of the guards goes, and so now I believe Berndt is going to put the guard back up. So they aren't putting the guard back out. They're looking to take out the yellow, but the shot was stopped. I guess it burned at some point. So that's an interesting result there. Let's see if I can see that on the replay. So they aren't putting the guard back out. They're looking to take out. So I think they stopped it before I noticed it. So just unfortunate there. It does give Peterson another opportunity to now make a play on the rocks in the rings.
So you have to be really careful with your body. But this is not
Again, looking to just pick out one of the reds. And if they were able to get the other red out, so much so the sweeter. The shooter itself rolls to the wing on top of the yellow that's already there. And so they're going to try that shot again. So I will definitely keep a closer eye on what may have happened or what will happen. As Ryan makes his shot. I think it was just a burned rock. So this looks really close. It's going to get 1. Is it going to get 2? And they got them both. That is a double takeout presented by doubletakeout.com. If you have a curling related catchphrase that you would like me to say repeatedly, feel free to sponsor us. Contact us for more information. Although trotshot.com is a site that will not be recommended. Don't go there. I've never been. I don't want to go there. I cannot recommend it.
I've been there, I don't.
The warm room is also saying stay away. Or at least open an incognito tab before you do so. So this shot from Team Peterson's going to wreck on the guard on the right side. It does kind of create a bit of a zone to draw to. But Team Peterson and Skip Campbell are definitely chasing here in this end. I lost count of the ends. 7th end. All right, here's Ryan's last for Team Berndt. I think that they're just looking to draw and put one at the top of the house and to start choking off paths to the button. This is going to be a guard. Just kind of camping in front of the other Yellowstones. And so now Campbell is asking for a draw around all that guard clutter and hopefully be sitting shot at the end of this. As, Josh Bernstein delivers his last.
Just sucks. Because I think I suck worse.
So it's around the guards, and it's going to sit just behind the tee line, a very solid 4-foot zone. So they finally made that shot. Practice makes perfect, which is a great lesson in curling, that practice truly does make perfect in this sport. I mean, it's not perfect, as I say that, but practice really does help, improve your game, and you can see improvements by increased practice within reason. This is Austin Berndt's first. This looks like maybe a little up, and so it's going to hopefully maybe settle in the back of the house. And that is what it does, biting the back of the 8-foot ring. So I was going to suggest they should paint these rings gold for the holidays, but there's only 4 gold rings, and that ruins the syntax of the song itself. So I have to get rid of at least 1 partridge in a pear tree before the end of the weekend. So that went a little deep, and so now Peterson has an opportunity here as Darren Campbell gets set in the hat for his first. I think they're just looking to draw to the 4-foot, I believe, maybe around cover to kind of the right side of the sheet. They don't want to present a double opportunity for the opposing team, but they also want to make sure it counts. And so the weight looks to be key here, and it's got to be really close, but it's going to end up being a little light. That could be a good outcome because it does protect the shot stone, but Peterson needs multiple points here, and I'm curious to see how they do so. As a team Berndt gets together to have a conversation, looking at the situation in the house. They have just over an end to go, and Team Berndt has under 12 minutes. So you have 30 minutes to play this game, and they've only used 28 of thinking time. They could basically go out for a cup of tea and come back and still have a couple minutes to play if they wanted to. The other team has just under 9.5 minutes to finish an end. The target time to play an end is about 3 to 3.5 minutes, so they have plenty of time. These teams have been playing very speedily, which I'm sure is appreciated by all.
Take your time to get your hat in like the last end.
Well, you could sit here fine, but then you're in front of the pole.
So now Austin is set in the hat. I think they're just looking to draw in with his last. Or even a guard is fine. I mean, forcing Team Peterson to a single point is not a bad outcome.
I know, but I was like, oh my god, whose is that?
So I think they believe it's going to end up as a mid guard, and it is. And so now the line is going to be more important. So not too bad. It's maybe a little further to the right than I think they may have wanted, because now Campbell has a draw for 2, and that would help them get back into this game. Currently down 6-2. with just over an end to play. They need 2 points here to have at least a chance in the final end here. So Darren Campbell cleans his rock, talks things over with his front end. Looking to draw for 2. It's like a nice smooth release there, just a little bit of a positive release where you add a little bit more energies to help the stone carry a little further and also carries a little straighter in a lot of cases. So this line looks pretty good. It's around the guards, so it now needs to sit in the 4-foot count, and it does. And so that's a score of 2 for Team Peterson thanks to skip Darren Campbell. And so now, with 1 end to go, it is Team Berndt holding a 2-point lead over Team Peterson. Keeps the game alive. Peterson's going to need to steal 2 when we come back to the final end of our coverage of tonight's feature game from the 2024 Men's and Women's Club Playdowns. Skip has the broom down for Team Peterson as the titular lead kicks out a hat with his first stone here in the 8th end. If the score is tied after 8 ends, there will be a single end of extra play. If they tie, I don't know what happens. But this first stone does get over the line, the hog line, to sit as a high guard. And Berndt is just going to go around it. Berndt definitely has a decisive advantage. The stats kind of indicate, I think, if you have a 2-point advantage in the very end of the game, you win the game like 2/3 or 75% of the time. It's definitely an advantage to have a 2-point lead coming home here.
Wow.
You don't go into it for reality.
And this just does get around the guard, but it is a little light. And so now Campbell's going to look to put up a guard. And so the situation is that Campbell is looking for guards. Guards are Team Peterson's friends because it gives them a chance to hide stones and potentially score points. Berndt's best friend is a clean house, which sounds like a house cleaning motto. I should patent that or trademark that. But they want a clean house because that minimizes the scoring chances for the opposing team, and if they need to do a draw for a single point, they can. Although if they have to draw for a single point, the game's over. It depends. So now there's 3 guards in play. The last guard from Peterson looks to be a center line guard, meaning that it is under the no tick rule, which is also a rule that Amazon applied after it canceled the TV series The Tick. So it looks like they're looking to maybe clear out their guard. And then in a future rock be able to clear out other guards. So they clear their own guard, and so they can't. During the 5 rock free guard zone rule, you can do whatever you want with your own stones. There are just limits on what you can do with opponent's stones. So we have a open house and 2 guards for Team Peterson with Jared Kiesling's first. And I think they were trying to draw around, I think, going on this right side, but it's going to end up, I think, wrecking on the yellow guard. And once again, you can do whatever you want with your own stones. However, the free guard zone rule is now over, and so people can do whatever they want with with each other's rocks, within reason. And I think looking to just peel some of these guards out of the way and reduce the scoring opportunities for Team Peterson. This is a Will Chen's rock. And he does get 1, he gets 2. That's another double takeout brought to you by doubletakeout.com. Peterson, this is a Will Chen's rock. And he does get 1, he gets 2. Net stone is coming down the ice. And now Team Peterson is looking to come in to the house. And this does look like a very good draw there by Jared. And so I think they're just going to keep trying to clear these rocks for Team Berndt.
I think the practice. Oh wait, for over the timer.
Yeah,
that I'm not sure.
So looking to make some more contact on yellows in play. It's 1. The shooter's going to roll away. So mission accomplished. It would have been cool to see another double takeout. And so now Peterson's seen the 1. I think they're looking to guard their shot rock. And remember, Team Peterson needs 2 to tie without the hammer here in this last end of regulation. And they are looking for the guard as Darren has his broom down in the guard zone. That's where he thinks it's going to end up. He wants them to push it over. How far are they going to push it? And the answer is pretty far. It gets pretty close to the line that Campbell indicated, although it's a bit deeper than he liked. And so now it's a possible double for Ryan and Janawiak to take on. Andy has the broom down for his teammates. And the shot's underway. Again, looking to make some granite fly. This looks pretty close. It gets 1, it's going to get 2. It gets the second rock moving, and it's going to go out of play. Another double takeout brought to you by doubletakeout.com. And if we had a jingle, I'd play the jingle right now, but we don't have the jingle. This looks pretty close. It hits one, it's going to get two. It gets the second rock moving, and it's going to go out of play. Another double. So now there is a one burnt rock on the right side of the sheets. And Peterson's looking to put up another guard. Where Campbell is as he's skipping the team. And so the guard is there, and I think Team Berndt is going to pick that out. This is Ryan's last. So we're just on the cusp of skip stones. And so from here on out, each Peterson stone needs to count or it's game over. So they get rid of the yellow rock, the shooter rolls to the right side, and so now there's a draw path around the guards to sit one, maybe two. We'll see what Darren Campbell and Team Peterson have on tap.
She's like, yeah, I got it this morning at 6 at Journal. I was like, how long was this made on it?
So looking for a draw as Campbell's kind of talking over the shot from across the ice. Going to do the out-turn counterclockwise rotation. They wanted to move over. They need to make sure it's buried. And sweepers are trying to coax it over to the right here. And it buries it partially. If I were to look at it head on, it looks like it's about 20% buried, let's say. So there's a little bit of a cover, but is there anywhere for Team Peterson to hide? All Austin Berndt needs to do is to make this yellow go away to secure the win. Looking for just a takeout. They don't need to stick around with the shooter. This is Austin Berndt's first with the hammer. Looks like it's going to be around the guard. And it's going to make contact with the yellow. The yellow is gone. The shooter sticks around. And it is handshakes. As Team Berndt has run Team Peterson out of stones to secure the 6-4 win. So, fun game all around. We're going to go around the rings one more time. I don't believe I'll have the tiebreaker information available for this broadcast, but I will do my best to share it to Facebook, the MoPac Facebook page, as soon as I know. Our next broadcast will be at 8 o'clock. It will either be the men's tiebreaker or a women's round-robin game. Definitely stay tuned to our YouTube channel for that information. Looking around the rings one last time, and again, you can find these scores at bondspieler.com. Sheets A, the contest between Team Meyer and Team Pomeroy. Team Pomeroy got on the board at last with a single point in the fifth end, but they are definitely chasing as Meyer is up 8-1 in this contest. Sheet B, the battle between Betts and Aller. Aller from San Francisco has taken a 2-point lead, 5-3 over Betts. They're currently in the seventh end, about to wrap that up. It looks like they're kicking rocks, I believe. Sheet C, we just saw that conclude Team Berndt of Orange County ran Peterson out of stones to win 6-4. And then on sheet D, the women's round robin game between Team Walsh of San Francisco and Team Hashi of Hollywood. Team Walsh is continuing to steal and has stolen her way into a 7-4 lead over Hashi. And so that brings you up today on the scores. Again, you can find all that on bonspiele.com. It's a round of applause as the teams from Sheet C exit the ice house. So for now, just to let you guys know, our next broadcast is going to be at 8. And then just another friendly reminder that our event and all of our coverage from the 2024 MoPac Men's and Women's Club Playdowns is brought to you by DoubleTakeout.com. DoubleTakeout.com, again, is your source for what the proprietor Ken Pomeroy calls the world's greatest curling ranking system. Check it out for yourself today, DoubleTakeout.com. So we're going to wrap up things tonight for now due to time constraints, but we will be back on the ice at 8 o'clock again for more curling action. We have a quadruple header planned for Saturday and the women's playoffs on Sunday. So lots more curling to come. I hope you'll find us again on the MoPac YouTube channel or on Facebook. But for now, for all of us here at MoPac, another round of applause. For all of us here at MoPac, Coyotes Curling Club, DoubleTakeout.com, this is your host Ryan Olson saying good night and good curling. We'll see you at 8.